What's up? So, what questions do y'all have today? I see there are New York. There are a few. Some of y'all asked to join my live.
I'm glad we were able to see a different side of you, see your authentic side. You know, they bought that out of you. Seems like it's been building up. So I'm proud of you keeping your positivity and keeping positive and all that good stuff. So keep it up for sure.
Question, I want to ask you this because I love to hear feedback, especially from people who've been watching the show for a while. So you said that you feel like they pulled out authenticity, right, when it came to me on television. What do you feel like you were getting? I want to know so we can talk
What
about
I feel like I was
viewer. Mm-hmm.
I feel like you felt like you had to protect your brand. So you wanted to make sure that you put out content that was uplifting. And I'm not saying this is not who you are. I don't know you personally, but you have a business and a family to protect at the end of the day. So I felt like you wanted to make sure that you showed yourself in a good light so that you continue to protect that brand, that business, and your family. I don't think that we were getting, I think we saw a lot of your real side too, your expressions and everything as well. But I felt this was a bowling point this past weekend that we just saw that's been building up from season 1. So we haven't seen this turned upside Melanie at all, I feel like.
You don't feel like that? So let me say this, and this is why I wanted you to explain, because I never want to make assumptions, right? I do love hearing as a viewer, you know what I'm saying, what the perspective is. For me, you're right in the sense that, you know, I try to be very careful about what I say and how I say it, because I do realize that, you know, I have a brand and I want to be positive. But coming out the gate for me with Love and Marriage Huntsville, which is why I decided to take a turn and back some when it came to learning how to control my responses, control my anger, is because coming out the gate, y'all saw, if anybody feel like Mel can't clap back or feel like Mel can't get with it, you ain't been watching since season 1. Because from season 1, y'all saw me throwing stuff, throwing clothes, going off. I mean, season 1, 2, and I started calming it down around maybe the second part of season 3, I think, when I felt like, okay, I'm not about to keep doing all of this. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where, for me, I feel like the change happened, where I made a conscious decision, you know, like, you know what? I'm not going to get in the gutter with anybody. I'm going to be positive because that's where I want my life to be. But in the beginning, when this show first came out, I feel like I was, you know, yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot.
And you know, you're absolutely right. Let me be honest. My mom put me on this show last year. My mom and my aunts and uncles, and they love your show. So I came in late, but I did go back and watch it from the beginning. I felt like if you really, I mean, you did. You definitely did. And you had every reason to do everything that you did. I felt like, I guess, with different people, because we expected with Martell because of y'all's history. But I guess seeing it, you reacting to other people like Miss Wanda, who again, definitely needed to hear that. I guess it's just a different, not a different side, but just at different people. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I definitely think you have been being your authentic self. I don't think you've been faking it at all.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm like, wow, like this is a different side, not a different side, but different people, I guess.
Yeah, I understand. I get what you're saying. Well, I appreciate that. You know, and for me, I also appreciate that as a viewer, you have been able to see, I guess, the progression in me. And again, it's a choice. Every day it's a choice in terms of how you want things to be when it comes to your life, when it comes to your energy. And when I made the choice, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I really ain't on that for real, and this is what I'm on, then that's what y'all got, right? But when I also, you know, like anybody, you get to a breaking point, then you may be on something else for that day. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you, and I'm glad you obviously really watched the show. So I'm glad you joined in on my live today, and you are absolutely beautiful, queen. The season 1 clapbacks were dressed up Southern Belle responses. I mean, you know, everybody, let me tell y'all something. Everybody has their opinions about what they feel and what they think, and I'm here for all of them. I love it. I love it. Listen, we all have to think for ourselves and be true in what we believe and what we feel. You know what I'm saying?
What's up, Mel? How are
How you
you?
doing?
I'm good.
Wonderful.
Now, I got a question for you.
I may have an answer. It depends. You know me. If
So,
I don't want to answer something, I won't answer it now. It depends. What's your question?
I'm in Nashville, Tennessee. That's 2 hours away from Huntsville, I think.
Yes, an hour
So,
and a half. Yeah, that's not bad.
I have quite a few friends who are from Huntsville.
Yeah.
And, when it comes to the small cities, everyone knows just about everyone. Do you ever think that those receipts are going to come out about Letitia and Marcel?
I don't know.
Because it's funny to me that all the people from Huntsville that live here have all agreed and said that it's true. But what amazes me is that I think but with you having so much class and being who you are, you're not going to put it out there. But I'm a firm believer that what's done in the dark will come to the light.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
So, do you think eventually that it will come out on the show? And the next question is, do you have a say so of who is picked to be a cast member?
Okay, well, you got two. You ain't coming here to play. So to your first question, I don't know. I don't speak on Tisha and Marcel M or them,
Mm-hmm.
those people. I don't do that. Number two, um, do I have a say in who comes on and becomes cast members? No, that call is made by production.
Mm-hmm.
You can recommend, you know what I'm saying? You can be like, hey, you should check this person out, or you should check that person out, or hey, I'm kicking it with such and such. This is a friend of mine. They're pretty cool. You might want to check them out. Anybody can do that. You know what I'm saying? Like if you look at it, everybody has had an extension of people
Mm-hmm.
with family or friends who have made an appearance on the show. Tiffany and her husband, I think they actually responded to a casting thing they did. So I didn't bring them on the show. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
That's
they must didn't have that many people to choose
me.
from.
Huh?
Did they not have that many people to choose from since they went with the Whitlows?
I don't know who. I don't know. I'm not involved in casting.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm not involved. What's your name?
Anthony.
Hey, Anthony, baby. Yeah, I'm not involved in casting. Anything in life that you want to do, you have to work hard, go for it. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I think as people, human nature, right? We all at
Mm-hmm.
times have doubt, or we all can at times get fearful about taking a leap on something you want to do. But guess what? If I hadn't taken the leap, there would be no Love and Marriage Huntsville. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? A show that
Gotcha.
became the #1 show on a network, the Oprah
Mm-hmm.
Winfrey Network, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be willing to take a leap. And this is one of those things where, leap, act of faith, believing that it's going to come into existence,
Mm-hmm.
manifesting that. And now here we are, you know what I'm saying, with a show. And I can't speak too much on it, but I've got 2 other shows that are about to come out too. So being on the side, on the production side and producing, I enjoy that piece of it as well, because it kind of, having been in front of the camera, it just kind of helps me to know what people want to see and what they like to see. You know what I'm saying?
So last name, when you gonna let us know how that not the shrimp. She said her scrimp. When you gonna let us know how that scrimp potato tastes like? What it tastes like?
Who has that potato?
Miss Wanda scrimp potato.
Oh, well, I don't eat seafood.
Okay, that was a good way out.
I don't eat seafood.
Well,
Thank
Mel, I'm not gonna hold too much of your time. Thank you so much.
thank you. So your question is, do I feel that we
That
can?
you move on? Because it's one thing where I know part of your cast is okay with being inauthentic. I don't even have to say who, and that's a lot of hard work to do. But as far as you, I know you're a Scorpio like me.
Mm-hmm.
How can you move forward? Because to me, I was like, okay, this is it. I don't know how. Like, I wouldn't be able to film. So how can you move forward with the rest of the people on the cast?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I don't even have an answer for that.
I feel you on that.
Yeah, I don't have an answer. Yeah, I don't really have an answer for that. I can say that Here's what I will say. When I decided to do reality television, I came in it with the idea of doing real TV, period. And
Right.
I knew that whatever I was involved in, I wanted it to be authentic and I wanted it to be real. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And my thought and process on that hasn't changed. So I don't have an answer.
I said in my review, I give it 2 to 3 episodes before Destiny tries to emotionally manipulate Martell. So I feel like this situation and her jumping in and trying to help Martell will be used later on.
Oh, okay. I can't say. I don't know what other people film. I know a lot of times people think that because I'm a producer on the show that is what I do. I don't call up producers trying to see what other people film, and I don't be caring about what other people filming.
Right.
So who knows? There may be some scenes coming that are like that, but because you mentioned it, I'll be paying attention. But go ahead. What you got for us today?
So listen, I'm gonna just say this from the beginning.
Okay.
I feel like energy transfers, and I feel like the way editing showed everything from the time that Destiny first started the event, it was negative. So from the time Destiny interacted with what's her name? The other lady with the short hair. I'm sorry.
On the show?
Yes.
Stormy?
Stormy.
Okay.
And the gift exchange, and then when you came in and spoke, and she said she didn't hear, I rewinded it back like 3 times. I'm like, okay, she spoke. Then your mama followed up. I feel like the entire time it was just a lot of negative energy. So from the beginning, the whole energy inside the event after she exchanged with Stormy, people can feel that. And even Tisha acknowledged, hey, your energy just transferred to her, and your energy just transferred to her. So I honestly feel like it was a toxic environment from the beginning. But I do feel like what was needed to be done was done. And I feel like it's a time and a place. And I just felt like, honestly, that was the time. And when you got outside, I'm going to just kind of plug it in. And she was like, you know, why did you do this? You know, you guys threw my event off. I wanted to say so bad, like, baby, this ain't nothing. If this is what you close and open back up for, to be nasty, and like your mama told her on the way out, if you're going to keep business going, your business is never going to succeed with this type of energy. This is probably why it closed the first time. But I'm just throwing that in there, you know, I'm just saying that. But my biggest thing was the energy was wrong for the beginning. I feel like y'all came in, y'all were, you know, nice enough to speak. Your mama followed up with a compliment. I feel like Stormy was extra nice with the gift, and, you know, her, the way she showed her, you know, let's start a new branch pretty much. But I honestly feel like because the energy was bad, it just trickled on from there.
Okay. So you believe, and I believe in that too. I believe in energy transfer. And that's, you know, I'll be real with you. That's one of the reasons I am, and I would say I haven't always been this way. I'm usually very open. Okay. If I can be honest with you, I'm usually very open to the point, like I like nice things, but I'm one of those people where my home is your home. Anybody can come to my house. My hair people have stayed at my house. You know what I'm saying? I've cooked. Come in, I'm gonna cook some food. What y'all want to eat? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's me. However, you know, when it comes to hosting things, I'm down to host stuff. Come on, y'all. I like for people to be happy and to have fun and to enjoy themselves. But, and maybe that comes from, you know what I'm saying? Really, maybe that comes from creating a successful business at a young age. So having the funds to do that, where it's like, just come, you ain't got to bring none, just show up. So, right. But now, now where I am is, it ain't too many people who can step foot in my house. And that's because like you're saying, I've learned how energy works. You know what I'm saying? I've learned that, and I have this one friend, we've been friends for about 14 years. And she used to always say to me, Melody, your problem is when you meet people and when you see people, you automatically look for the good in them. And that's what you see. She said, me, I look at people from out the gate with a side eye. So they have to earn and get me to see that they good, right? Right. And she's been telling me this long before this show. But I guess it was going in one ear, not the other. Like, well, you know, I guess that's just how I am, right? But now that I have grown and matured more, and I've experienced more things in life, because life is a journey, now I see and understand what she means by you have to literally take off the rose-colored glasses, is what I'll say, and start figuring out and learning. Everybody doesn't have good intentions for you. A lot of times people can put on a front for a while, you know what I'm saying, till they get close to you. And I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I do now though. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm very particular. I was live yesterday. I was like, I just changed my number. There are only maybe 5 to 10 people who have my number, and that number ain't about to change. It's
right.
That's all.
Yeah. I've also learned too that even though sometimes you can't figure out this till later, when you pay attention to what people do rather than what they say, it shows every single time. Actions tell you every single time someone's true character.
Yeah.
You know, we always get so confused by the words, and 'cause a lot of times people tell us what we want to hear. That's the whole key to manipulation. But in true enough time, like I always tell, even if we were talking about dating, like I always tell my female friends, give them about 90 days. See what they're going to do like a job. Actions will show you exactly who you're dealing with. A man can tell you anything. That's the same thing with friendships and everything. People can be whoever you want them to be. But those actions, they don't line up, then you know exactly who you're dealing with. And I feel like with Destiny, you know, I feel like as an audience, we all want to root for her. We do. But the whole mean girl thing, we got to let it go, you know, and as a business, you know, you got to let that go. And I also feel like one more thing I want to say about Tisha. I feel like Tisha, honestly, is a good wife. I feel like she's with the wrong partner from watching the show. Because for one thing I said, you know, for him not to even stand up for her mother, I feel like from the jump, and I'm not even on that side as a team, I'm just isolating. Okay, let me put this as a man stance. Okay, my mother-in-law is now in a situation. Now let's flip this over. You and Martell are not even together, but you see how immediately he protected you and your mom. That's what a man does regardless. You get what I'm saying? So for me, I'm like, I just didn't like their dynamic. And I feel like anybody that would tell you to not protect your mom, that's just a whole nother subject. But, you know, we'll keep watching and see how that all unfolds.
Okay. Well, you know, like I've been telling everybody, I'm enjoying hearing y'all's perspective, how you feel as a viewer. You know what I'm saying? How you felt. So I'm appreciated. I respect all y'all's opinions. You look so beautiful. Your curls are beautiful too.
Thank you so much.
The Love and Marriage Huntsville Instagram page. I'm sure many of y'all over there follow it. So
yes.
There she is. She runs that page. But so it's been a continuous thing for me. Me getting more into myself, it never stopped. It wasn't like I started this a year ago and then I stopped getting more into myself. It didn't. It's been continuous. But what I can say in terms of how it's escalated some, or how it's, you know, gotten a little deeper for me, is I continue to decrease the access to me even more, is what I'll say. Still spending time with myself and enjoying spending time with myself and learning about myself and healing and doing the things I need to do for me. But also that meant separating myself even more from people. And it's a lot that happens in life. It's a lot of things we deal with on a daily basis. And sometimes we forget to spend time with ourselves. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We forget to do that. Like, you have people who, let's say they lose a spouse, or they lose a husband, they lose a wife, they lose a child. They don't know what to do.
Absolutely.
Because they've wrapped themselves so much around other people that when those people aren't there anymore, they don't even know how to survive and live, or what they enjoy doing, what they don't like to eat. Because guess what? I've been cooking everything that my children wanted to eat, or my husband wanted to eat. I don't even know what I really like anymore, right? So I've been enjoying learning, relearning is what I'll say, things about myself that literally causes me to love.
I feel like when you go through a huge transition, a lot of times that you're, like you mentioned, you're relearning yourself, right? And what I find so unique about your experience is you're living your life out loud with the rest of the world to witness it. So a lot of us have the luxury and the privilege to grieve, go through our sorrow, our happiness, our joy in our private home. Your experience has been shared with many, 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 many people. And well, we thank you, first of all, for being open and putting your life out there. And that's not easy at all. I can only imagine. But two, you continue to be vulnerable with us. And I think that's why a lot of the audience really connect with you on an intimate level, because it's not easy to do, especially on national television. What have you learned about yourself this time around that no one knows about you just yet, that you just recently discovered about yourself?
I have learned that I am highly connected to nature. I love nature. I love the outside. I tell people, I'm like, the moon is my friend. When I see the moon, typically I tear up now, right? Yeah. So I will walk outside with my shoes off and ground myself and touch a tree and get in tune with nature. And that's not a journey that I've shared. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, fortunately, it's something that I've learned about, and I've learned about myself, and I've grown to love.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I hadn't shared yet. But yeah, I appreciate sunrises and sunsets even more. I appreciate, like I said, when I see the moon out and it's shining bright, and it's a reminder for me. I think for me, the moon is like what the sun is to a lot of other people, but it's the moon for me. So, you know, that has been wonderful. Wonderful. Just being in tune with self, you know, being in tune with self.
So just switching gear, I do want to ask you like maybe two more questions about the episode that aired this Saturday. First of all, so much has happened. How long did it take? Was this like an all-day event? Like when everything kind of like the chaos started, like how long did it take?
No, it wasn't an all-day event. Total, if I had to kind of guess, you know, trying to remember from the time I got there until the time I left, I was probably only there for like an hour or two.
Oh, wow. A lot happened in that hour. Can you like maybe tell us a little bit about your intention when you got there? I know obviously you wanted to have a conversation with Miss Wanda, but what was your intention before you got there? And then what was your takeaway after you left?
Sure. So upon arriving, you know, and I said this before that event, and you know, I'll continue to say it. I'm not in a place where I like, oh, I hate Destiny and I hope she doesn't do well, or right? And so considering, you know, it was a public event, and yes, of course, production is like, hey, you know, there's going to be a public event. You know, you want to come, think it'll be a good idea. It'll show, you know, to Destiny, hey, you know, I want your business to do well, and I'm going to support it at least to the, you know, to the amount that I want to support it and be there to support. And I'm like, okay, cool, I'll come. You know what I'm saying? So when I came in, I spoke, said what I had to say. I wasn't received well. And I think for me, that immediately, you know, but it's no big deal. People have feelings, they have emotions, whatever. Right? I stayed inside maybe 10 minutes, 20 max, and then I left. I was gonna leave. Right. So came, said hi. My mom walked in right behind me. She said, congratulations. I mean, it was a quick in and out. Battery did something. Anyway, it was a quick in and out. How I felt afterwards, I felt fine. Totally fine. I have no regrets about anything I did or said, to be honest. If it was to be done or said all over, I'd do it again. It would be the same. If it were the same thing that had been happening for over a year, and then I saw the person in person, and especially after, you know, having family members threatening me with guns, I would do the same exact thing. It never would have changed. So I felt fine after I left. I went home, changed out that dang on jumpsuit, honey. I had put on me some little shorts and a shirt and went out there to the concerts they was having for the black folks in Huntsville. I went to the concert. I went outside and was hanging out and kicking it at the concert. I was fine.
So one common things that I see on the page, running the page, is like, where does the group go from here?
Yeah, that's what someone else asked me a minute ago, actually. A lady from the Ooh La La Bundy Blue and them panel.
Oh, sorry, I forgot. I wasn't in. I came in a little bit
Yeah,
late.
no, Ooh Ladies first ladies panel, something like that. Yeah, but where does it go from here? That's I will tell you, like I told her, that's a good question. I don't know. I'll be real, I don't know. And I'm a person who, when I don't know something, I'm not going to make something up. I'm not going to tell you what you might want to hear. I'm not going to give you what I think you want me to give. I'm going to be honest about it. And the honest answer is, I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, I know. That's like the number one question under the comments that I see. Like, where does the group go from here? Because so much has been said and so much has been done.
Yeah. I will tell you this. You know, I shared this earlier. Whenever I made the decision to take a leap and to push for a reality TV show here in Huntsville, coming out the gate, even when, you know, we were greenlit for season 1, I was on some, if I'm gonna do reality TV, I'm gonna do reality TV, and I'm gonna keep it real, and I'm not gonna, you know what I'm saying, fake anything. I'm not gonna do that. And so out the gate, you guys saw the good and the bad in my marriage, right? I'm not willing to not be authentic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not willing to be a part of something that's not authentic, because that's not reality TV. And so, yeah, you know, I can't tell you where it goes from here. I don't know.
But the last question that I have, and I know we'll talk hopefully soon, is, does production get involved? Because kids, to me, always off limit, right? And in any adult conversation that happens, does production have a say in when things are escalating to the level that it did, especially this Saturday? And I know this isn't the first time the kids were mentioned. Is there a conversation behind the scene to talk about what is off limit and what isn't, or how does that even work?
Oh, there are a lot of conversations for sure that happen behind scene and on camera. You guys will see some conversations coming down the pipeline that are held on camera about the situation. So I think that, in all fairness, you know, at the end of the day, I've never said anything pertaining to anybody's children on this show. Y'all don't hear me talk about nobody's kids. I just don't. I don't even try to insinuate anything about anybody's children, because it's just not cool, you know? So when you start having to get that low, then there needs to be something, some things need to be evaluated, maybe restructured. And that's just, you start to lose the integrity and the morality of things whenever that happens. So,
well, I'm looking forward to see how that conversation goes, because, you know, I'm sure you're aware of it. A lot of the distaste that a lot of fans have is like, we want what we had season 1, which is the business talk, the group coming together, the comeback group, and being able to see Black people succeeding. So when this episode aired, a lot of the comments under the posts were, this is too much, has gone too far. So, and then the question being like, where do we go from here? So I'm happy to see that we're having this conversation moving forward, because it's a conversation that's needed.
That's right. I agree. Well, thank you so much for coming on today.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.